So this video is for Math 3, talking about the total and average cost. Now for this particular problem that we're going to be looking at, we're only going to be looking at setting up the problems, and we're going to use part A in both these questions to help you with that. Okay, you don't actually need to solve the questions because this standard that we're working on for this particular module is just setting up questions based off of word problems. Okay, so our first example is it's your party will cater a banquet for $32 per person with a $100 fixed charge. Now there's two parts to this problem that we're doing. First is the $32 per person. So every person that goes to this banquet is going to cost $32. But on top of that, there's a $100 fixed charge. Now this charge here is always going to be the same. It's not going to change no matter how many people come. So if one person comes, it's still going to cost $100 to have the banquet. If 1 million people come, it's still going to cost $100 to fix the banquet, to make the banquet go on. Okay, so that charge won't change, but the $32 will change, will be more or less depending on how many people show up. So we're going to use part A to help us determine part B and C. Okay, so it says part A, determine the total cost of the banquet if 35 people attend. So how we do this? If 35 people go to the banquet and it costs $32 per person, we're going to add $100 for the fixed cost. And if we put that into a calculator, 32 times 35 plus 100 is 1,220. So this is how much it costs for the banquet. Now for the next part, what is the average cost per person? Let's switch to green for this. Okay, for the average cost, you're going to take the total cost, which we just found, of $12.20, and we're going to divide that by how many people show up. In this case, that's 35. So $12.20 divided by 35 is 34.8. We're going to round up to 6. Okay, so it's $34.86 per person as the average cost to go to the banquet. Okay. Now doing this will help us write B and C. That's the real piece of this problem. Okay. So it says write an equation to represent the cost in dollars if X people attend the banquet. Excuse me. So we're going to take the blue part that we just did, but rewrite it as an equation. Since we're talking about total cost, we're going to have an equation where it says C for the cost is equal to, we're going to write down the particulars of this problem. So it's $32 per person. How many people attend is going to be X. We don't know, so we write down X. All right, plus the $100 fee, that's the fixed charge. And this is our equation of how much it's going to cost in total dollars to attend the banquet. All right, and then part C, all right, is based off of the green part, the average. Okay, so it says write an equation to represent the average cost per person in dollars if X people attend the banquet. All right, so to find the average cost, since we're dealing with average, we're going to set an equation of A is equal to. All right, now for this, you took the total cost of $12.20 and divided it by the number of people. So we're going to do the same thing. So the total cost is up here in part B. So the total cost of the banquet is 32 times X plus 100 divided by the number of people. Well, the number of people is still X, so we're going to divide by X. And there's the equation for the average cost per person. All right, and that's all we have to do. We don't have to solve anything. We're just writing down the equation. So can you take your information and write an equation based on that information? Okay, we'll do one more example. Number 2. TalkTel is a cellular service provider. They advertise that you can buy a monthly plan for as low as $70 per month as long as you buy a cell phone costing $200. So again, we're going to do part A to help you do part B and C. So it says determine the total cost if you buy a cell phone and are on the plan for 12 months, and then what is the average cost per month? So we have two things again. We have a monthly plan is $70 per month. Then we have a cell phone that costs $200. Okay. So we write the $70 per month plus we're doing this for 12 months, and then you have to add on the $200 phone. So the $200 charge is, again, a one-time cost. It's not every month. It's just you buy one phone for $200 and then you're done. All right? The monthly plan comes in the $70 form. So again, we put these values in our calculator to do 70 times 12 plus 200. It gives us 1,040. 10,000, crazy. All right. Now to find the average, you take your total cost, 10,040, and divide it by how many months you're paying across. And that is 12. So we're going to take our 1,040 divided by 12, and our cell phone plan is going to average $86.67 per month. Okay, so now that we have those two kind of equations set up, we're going to use that information to help us write the equations for parts B and C. So the first one, total cost. So again, since we're dealing with cost, we're going to put C is equal to. All right, then we're going to, because our total cost is based on the number of months, which is X, we have 70 times the number of months, which is X, plus the total cost of the phone, which is 200. And there you have your equation. And lastly, for part C, we're doing the average. So that's the green part. Again, we do the total cost, but because we're finding the average, we're going to do A. But the average is the total cost, so we're going to use that equation from part B, 70x plus 200. We're going to divide it by how many months we're doing this, and then since that is X amount of months, we put X at the bottom. And that is how you find the average. And that is it.